Husband, 34M, left/got an apartment while I, 30F, was pregnant but is now back at home. I'm confused. I'm in deep with my husband, but a lot has happened in our relationship and I'm not sure what to do. Me, 30F, and my husband, 34M, have been together 11 years, married almost 5 years. We have 3 kids together now. Our relationship has always been a bit passionate. We have always argued often, etc. Over the years, arguments started happening less. We grew into a really good team together, helping each other grow, finish college, find careers, saving, buying a home together, and raising our kids. He left our marital home when I was in my 3rd trimester, pregnant with our 3rd child. His reasons were that I wasn't there for him enough, like giving him hugs. Background. We also had a few years of bedroom issues because he wanted intimacy very often and I was closed off dealing with emotional issues. I had felt very emotionally neglected from early on in our relationship. For example, if I was crying about something he said/did, he would turn it around on me and basically tell me I shouldn't be crying because whatever it was is my fault. Another one of his reasons was that I wasn't there for him enough when he was going through gut issues. H. pylori. Background. It was a confusing time. He had trouble eating anything/everything. He was trying to figure out what worked for him, and I just didn't know how else to help him, so I supported him by taking him to the doctors for an endoscopy, tried my best to emotionally support him and be a listening ear, and be the one primarily taking care of the kids. For some reason, our arguments started increasing. His behavior started changing before and early in my pregnancy. He started talking to a female friend who he hadn't spoken to in a decade, more often via Instagram DMs and over the phone. And we started hanging out with her and her family. But their interactions were always weird. She seemed flirty to me, touching him, long hugs, smiley/giggly with him, and would DM him things like, "I forgot how easy it is to talk to you." And he would tell her things like how her personality was nice, bubbly, and cheery. Then he started talking to girls at the gym and adding them on Instagram. These girls are gorgeous, by the way. I'm not too ugly myself, but they are younger, good bodies, etc. He also started smoking weed and hiding it from me. I was more upset about the lying/hiding, and just concerned about weed because I was pregnant/baby was coming, but was willing to learn about its possible effects/how to avoid it. Then after a stressful month for him at home, with our arguments, pregnancy, responsibilities, at work, helping his parents, his persisting gut issues, and mental health anxiety, was taking Lexapro, he left. He slept in his car, stayed at hotels, and eventually leased an apartment that he began to furnish, etc. Meanwhile, the kids and I were left at home without his support at what felt like a very critical time. I had a healthy pregnancy, but was very tired. Kids had a busy schedule, working full-time, etc. He would come and go from our house, sometimes taking the kids to school. We didn't know when to expect him or for how long. He was very flighty, angry, and argumentative/not all there. As soon as he had gotten the apartment, I found out, via purchase notifications on my phone, that he was on dating apps. He was also following girls he met at the gym on Instagram. And out of mistrust, I started snooping on his phone, and found he had an IG page dedicated to nearly naked Instagram models. He started watching porn regularly. He started driving out and meeting up with female friends from his past to smoke weed, do yoga, help them move things, go to museums. And I also found a poem/a note about a gym receptionist he had met and how he fell for her/wanted to support her and her child/thought she was the most beautiful thing ever, etc. Painful. During delivery, he was there just like he had been for our first 2. He was helpful, but maybe not as sharp and attentive as he was before. I sort of felt like I could have done it on my own with the help of the nurses and staff. When we came home, he was helping me recover, cooking often and feeding me well, and taking the kids where they needed to be so I could breastfeed and recover. He would still sort of come and go, and he was still making plans with other women/female friends. I reached out to all of the women he was interacting with that I knew of from Instagram. And from what he has shared and what they have shared, I don't think he has ever physically cheated on me. Around 5 weeks postpartum, he found out I opened a separate bank account. I did this because I was tired of his apartment that I didn't consent to, draining our joint account, plus the frequent dispensary purchases, as none of it was helpful towards our family. When he found out, he argued with me so badly he called my parents and kicked me out of the house. He still had his apartment. I felt uncomfortable with how he was acting and didn't want the kids around him, so I packed them, our newborn, and our dog up, and my parents picked us up. He made me leave my car keys and house keys with him, so I didn't have access to either. And he left the kids' car seats at the front door and made us leave as quickly as possible. It was awful. We stayed at my parents' house for nearly a month. He stopped by once and police got involved. Him and my parents got into an argument. He wouldn't leave. My dad tried to literally kick him. My mom blocked, but husband says he was kicked. Parents say it was blocked. We decided to try co-parenting, where one parent would stay with the kids for a week at home. Then we would switch parents. Eventually that got tiring, and he just ended up back at home. And now we are back home together. After all of that, I'm trying to give it a real second chance. My parents never want to see him again. He has a hard time because of the incident at my parents', now saying that I didn't stand up for him. My dad is not safe to be around. My dad has never been abusive, FYI, etc. And I have a hard time because of all the things that have happened. Emotional infidelity, abandoning us, kicking me out, especially during the third most vulnerable time in my life. I try to not bring up anything/argue. Just try to be a good wife. I work full-time at home while caring for our baby. I do all school pickups, drop-offs, kids' extracurriculars. A majority of all cooking for him and the kids, and much of the household duties. Also enthusiastic intimately, and consciously choosing to be kind, warm, happy for myself and all of us at home. He does help around the house and is being a better dad to the kids. He's also in school working on his master's and has other projects he's working on. Things have been calmed down a bit. No more apartment. And coming back up financially. Throughout these issues, he brought up divorce often, almost as more of a threat. He almost filed. I consulted a lawyer once, but neither of us have followed through. We're sort of just back here with our messed up past now, trying to move forward. Kids are still doing well/happy. So yeah, I don't know. Just know that he still wants to blame these things on me. But we are also taking couples class and are on a trajectory to start marriage counseling soon. I still love him a lot and want a life with him, even though it seems very difficult to do that now with his relationship with my parents. I love who he is, his interests, what he looks like, how he treats us when he treats us good, etc. Just not the bad ways which he's treated me. But I feel like I just need some validation and apologies, because I see change in him, and ick.